Evening and welcome to the Aces RG Dream League live here from the Monster Energy DreamHack Studios. And it is already day 2 of the quarterfinals of main qualifier number 4. Let's take a look at which 4 teams we have in store for you today. Our first series is going to be Aspera, team to make it out of the open qualifiers, facing up against the invited team, Team Tinker, who last week were beaten down by 4 Clovers and a Leprechaun, who, by the way, are no longer in this bracket, so they don't have to fear them anymore. But Aspera definitely a worthy opponent for them. Our second quarterfinals of today is going to be Chappa, making it out of the quarterfinals, taking on Hellraisers, who we already seen twice before in the main qualifiers, but both times weren't able to make it all the way. But they're here to try again. And of course, with me as well as a couch full of awesome people, we have Shane, Owen, and Andy again. And Andy, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I got here like 2 minutes ago.
Yes,
it's great. I mean, we were a little bit late, but it's fine. We're here on time.
Yeah.
We started the show normally. Yeah,
I had to do the makeup.
Yeah, but
like
you did a great job at the speed makeup. So now we know that you're multi-talented when it comes to makeup.
True.
So that's good. Yeah, I'm doing well.
Good. Good to hear. Owen, had a good time?
I'm having a good time. I'm looking forward to the matches today. Obviously, yesterday we saw 2 underdogs pull through, so it'll be interesting to see if we see that happen again today.
Yeah, definitely could be.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think Team Tinker will win. I honestly believe.
Yeah, I thought Yellow Submarines would lose.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
Yeah, but you had to be convinced that they wouldn't lose.
That happened.
But she didn't convince herself, but she convinced me.
I mean, let's be totally honest.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Literally no one expected that.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be the bracket of the upsets. Who knows? It's possible.
Yeah, and with yesterday's games in mind, we have got a recap for you of yesterday's game. So let's take a look at what happened then.
Heroes across the map falling here for the Radiant. BZZ trying to chase down Blink 4 from Harney. Under the tower, Death hasn't got the mana for the Berserker's Call. And getting fairly low himself. TP in here from the Shadow Fiend. Does get held by the telekinesis again by Yol. There's pings to the sidelines because Harney's there. 1 raise, 2 raise. Will bring it down. It's at half health at the moment. PSM tanking it up with the Untouchable. Double damage to Embarrass, doing a lot of work. Nice fish onto 3. Oh, that's a big... Oh, the Blink Call into the Echo Slam. 2 heroes deleted, make that 3. This could be the fight that they're looking for. They're going to go into the Roach Pit, the side of Vega Squadron. Where's your Magnus? Is he going to be able to find an RP? Blinks an RP just onto 1, because that blink out just in time. As Vega will try and fight up, gets it. Massive shot with the stolen RP, catches them all. Triple kill. It's going to be just the Morphling left alive. He tries to get away. He'll get zapped down by the Undying with the Soul Rip. GG. Well played is cool.
With those quarterfinals being played, it also means that we have 2 teams waiting in the semifinals for tomorrow, so we can take a closer look at our brackets to see what they look like right now. And as already mentioned just now, I mean, both teams that got invited already knocked out by the teams that made it through to the open qualifiers. Yellow Submarine as well as Vega Squadron. Very strong performances, and yeah, they're going to be playing each other tomorrow.
Exciting game, that, actually.
Yeah.
I wonder, does Vega bang the Shadow Fiend? Like, honestly, I think in both games, Yellow Submarine, Shadow Fiend.
I don't think you can ban it, though. Like, if you ban it, there's like Wisp, there's Troll, there's Sniper. But if it's tomorrow...
Who knows what's going to happen?
Maybe. Yeah, but I think everything will be crazy if the patch ends up hitting. So it's like actually pointless to speculate. Yeah. People might stick to what they think is good in the previous patch just because it's going to be what, you know, people are used to playing. But other than that, it could just be like people picking random stuff. Who knows? We're going to see like position 2 Alchemists farming Aghanims for a safe lane Tiny Wisp or something crazy like that. We don't know. And
maybe the patch already hits at 5 AM, which gives people some chance to prepare. And maybe see other teams play already, because I believe there are some C games tomorrow morning as well. So that might, you know, give
I was actually playing on the test client until like 6 AM. And it's pretty crazy. Like, it's that, the Octane Core.
Octarine Core.
Octarine Core. The
Terry Patchett, shout out.
Yeah, it's like so
Only cats
crazy.
and wizards can see that item, Shane. So you must be one of the 2.
I'm definitely a wizard.
Okay. Makes sense then. Invoker's a wizard.
Yeah.
No, I literally just played Invoker all day, and I love every second of it. The cooldown reduction, everything, it's so good. It reduces the cooldown on bots, Midas, Refresher Orb. It's just a dream, like, it's the dream.
Yeah, it said cooldown reduction, but I wasn't actually entirely sure if it worked on items as well. But that actually makes it insane.
Like, it'll Necro Book, like, there's so much cool stuff you could do with that item.
I just want to buy it on Leshrac and just become the lifesteal god. You just can never die.
Just pulse noving everywhere. And
it's like, I think somebody calculated 360 health per second that you gain.
Holy
if you have like Edict on and you have Pulse Nova with Aghanims as well. That's how much health you get. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of farm, but position 1 Lesh.
I'm looking forward to Necrolite with Octarine Core.
That's true as well.
Or just the Necrolite who tries to kill Roshan with a new Heartstopper, and you lose the game because he's just sitting at the Ancients. And
what does it take, 4.5 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, but you could be level 7 if you stack the Ancients properly and kill Roshan at the same time. Which you can actually do both simultaneously just by standing on the little cliff.
It's so obvious, though. It's like, has anyone seen Necrolite for the past 5 minutes?
Yeah, like, if you start the game and you don't buy your own Sentry Wards, you do that once, it's going to get countered, right? Like, people are just going to ward the Ancients every single game. So, I thought it was funny to watch, though.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
Yeah.
Super strong. I actually, I'm really hoping that to see Centaur coming out.
Oh, that is crazy. Like,
we good?
Me and all my viewers, we like played a game where we blinked into the bush, and there's like, we're just in the...
Everybody has to get a blink then.
Yeah, but like, you gotta get a blink dagger. And everyone like hides at the top of the lane, and like a per little line or something comes up to farm a few creeps, and all of a sudden like a full team comes out of the bushes. It's just hilarious. Like,
Mag has like PTSD from, what was it, Starlighter 10 or 11, where he had to play...
Cloud9, was it?
He stood in for Cloud9.
He played Centaur every single game.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I feel bad. Like, Centaur's cool, but he's not that fun, you know? I mean, he's got 3 active abilities, and that's it. And you just like, AoE stun, double edge, ulti. Super, like, one-dimensional hero.
Yeah, and everybody flames you when it goes wrong.
Yep.
And nobody notices when it goes right.
But that's Dota.
That is actually Dota.
When everything's going well, people won't say anything. But as soon as something bad happens, it's just flame.
True. And of course, today we're going to have our first game, Aspera versus Team Tinker, and afterwards Japa versus Hellraisers. Now, 2 of these teams are going to play tomorrow as well in the semi-finals. Which 2 teams are we expecting to see tomorrow as well as today?
I don't even know. Every time I predict something, I'm wrong. I don't even want to say who I think is going to win. So I'm like 0% prediction
who do you
rate
want to
right
jinx?
Now. No, I'm not gonna do it. Not today.
Owen, you want to take a chance?
Well, I think going by what we kind of come to expect, we do expect Tinker and Hellraisers to win.
Yes.
But
don't say that.
If we're going by the kind of ethos that we've had this week, you know, with the kind of upsets, then, you know, it would be nice to see Aspera and Japa pull through today.
Do you believe that'll happen, or are you just saying that?
I think he's just saying that.
Well, if I believe that Tinker and Hellraisers will win, like we did yesterday, we believed that we obviously had the stronger sides going into it. Maybe then Aspera and Japa will make it. So I'm gonna go with Tinker and Hellraisers, but secretly I'm like, come on Aspera, come on Japa, let's get the underdog.
Not that secretly, because you're literally
because I've literally just said it. That's right. Yeah, so I might have just ruined it now.
Yeah.
But who's to tell?
Yeah, I actually think Hellraisers is going to do a pretty decent job. We looked up earlier what Hellraisers, like we've seen them two times before. What went wrong? Well, they faced Virtus Pro as well as Burning United, or Basically Unknown, actually. Basically unknown. And they lost against those 2 teams in the qualifiers that they were in. And both of those teams are already qualified, so they actually lost against like worthy opponents. So Hellraisers, I definitely think that this time...
Didn't they also have connectivity issues last time they played?
The first time they did. Yeah, when they played against Virtus Pro, F1 Ninja had
Hellraisers
issues.
and M5, I believe, both from the previous qualifiers had that issue, I want to say. So, yeah, hopefully it's obviously resolved.
Yeah.
And talking about Afro Ninja, like his performance when we've seen him before has just been superb. Like he's Queen of Pain and his Tinker as well, I believe, in the first week.
Dude, he went from like 1-9 to winning his team the game.
That was amazing, yeah.
He still had like 250 CS at 35 minutes with like 9 or 10 deaths and 1 kill.
He got like 18-minute Boots of Travel or something like that, and then all of a sudden he's just like, oh my god.
Imagine what he could do with the next patch.
They're reducing the mana cost on Rearm.
Yeah. That's by like 25 each level, I think.
Yeah, it's 25 on every level. Yeah, but that's still a lot over time. Yeah, it is. Like, especially with 16 rearms.
I think when you actually don't learn your ulti on certain heroes, like there's something wrong. You know what I mean? Like if you don't level your ulti at 16, there's something inherently wrong with it.
Yeah, I agree. Because you kind of want like 1,000 or 1,100 mana, I think, for level 2 rearm, and then you want like 1,500 or 1,600 for level 3 rearms. So yeah, depending on the build, and that's why people were starting to go Bloodstone so often, just to have the mana pool to be able to use your rearm. But yeah.
And imagine if Alchemist farms also an Aghanims for him, because Alchemist is going to farm Aghanims for everybody.
I wonder, like, are teams actually going to do that? Because it's super powerful.
Yes.
It is, but it's also super risky of having a hero become a non-factor.
Okay, I have a scenario. You got IO Tiny mid lane. Of course, you still have to get IO Tiny first, but, you know, assume the best. IO Tiny mid lane, off lane, some off lane that doesn't need any help, Clockwork. We're going to make it Clockwork. And then safe lane is going to be an Alchemist farming with a support like Rubik or something that can keep him super safe. And Alchemist farms at 10 minutes Aghanims, gives it to the Tiny. Tiny already farmed himself as well, so he's got Treads and Blink already. 10 minutes in, Treads, Blink, Aghanims, Tiny, and he's going to kill everybody.
There's one problem with your draft.
Why?
Your lanes are insanely weak. Like Rubik Alchemist is a terrible lane.
What if they pick like any hero that clicks you?
Yeah, exactly. Like in the laning phase, you actually have two lanes that will automatically lose.
Maybe not a Rubik, but something else that can keep Alchemist slightly
safer.
safer.
If Alchemist goes Greevil's Greed, like maxes it out, he is literally the easiest person in the world. You could send
you can let him mid.
Yeah, mid Alchemist I think is better.
It'll work
because the thing is, like, if you put a dual lane mid, you're basically saying to the enemy team, like, everybody Tiny wisp mid in this patch. So they're going to dual lane it, and when they dual lane it, your lane's going to lose. And if you put a dual lane in the safe lane, and they already know that you're dual laning Wisp and Tiny because you probably have to pick them together, they're also going to dual lane your off lane, and that will also lose. So then you're going to have two lanes losing, and hopefully your Clockwork gets a nice matchup. But yeah.
I think what's more likely is that you just have a support Alchemist. He just gets the bounty rune and just farms like a Maelstrom or something like that, and just gets level 6 and farms Maelstrom, and then just goes jungles, like, because he doesn't need anything else but the jungle.
I still think it's more of like a late game transition thing. I really don't think it's ever worth doing it early.
Like straight away rushing it.
Yeah.
I think you need 1 or 2 base items at least.
Yeah, I would say so. But I still think mid is the best way to do it.
So still as a core.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be like a 2 or a 3, I guess, because if you're giving away an item, your farm priority is not that high. It's just high enough to the point where farming 4,200 gold for somebody else might benefit the team more than you having it yourself. So.
Still hoping to see loads of Alchemists, loads of Aghanims upgrades. It's going to be actually...
The Nyx one is torture. Like, I guess if you get a gem, it's fine, or you get Sentry Wards. But, like, when you're playing pub games, and there's some random dude just mana burning and carapacing, and you don't know what's going on.
The other thing is you never have to go back to base.
Yeah.
Ever. That's the part that makes it like, okay, that's really good. But the other problem I think that he still suffers from is where do you put him?
Yeah.
Like that, like off lane, as a solo off laner, he doesn't really get a lot, like in any matchup. So in other terms, you would want like Clockwork, I guess, instead, just because he offers a lot more for sports. But I don't know, it's the patch. We don't know what's going to happen.
Dude.
It's going to be fun.
Today is no patch, just to keep that straight, or at least so far.
Not yet.
Not yet. Who knows?
Dun, dun, dun.
So we already know that our games today are going to be, on paper, they should be one-sided, but if yesterday was anything to go by, it's all but one-sided. We're probably going to see quite a bit of action. At least I hope so. Aspera, actually, a team that is fairly known. Owen, I think you might know Aspera a little bit because you might have casted them a couple of times. Am I right in saying that? It's a guess, because I casted them in the past.
Apparently. I don't think I've ever casted it.
Okay.
Maybe. I've casted quite a few games.
We have the caster's curse, though. Remember that.
We do forget.
It's like as soon as the game is
casted,
over, we totally forget who played.
Out of your
I mean, the name does ring a bell. But
yeah.
That's good. That's
a start.
Something. That is a start. It rings a bell more so than Chappa. I've never heard of Chappa.
No, me neither.
Never ever heard of Chappa.
Never heard of Chappa. Aspera is also playing in an MLG, I believe, as well at the same time, or at least, well, I think they might have already gone out, losing to Vega, but...
I think they did have another game today, actually. I think when I looked on the schedule...
It was not MLG, because they're out.
Not MLG.
Unless there's a loser bracket.
Is it the Hitbox tournament?
I think it was the MLG thing. It was something. I'm pretty sure Aspera are playing something else today. Yeah, so they're in something else.
Okay.
So, you know, they're making steps.
Yeah. Aspera is like one of those teams that comes from... we actually have also got some extra information on Aspera as well. But Aspera is one of those teams that comes from tier 2. Or rather, no, sorry, tier 4-ish teams, and they're like at the top of tier 4, and they're really good, and they're basically dominating everybody, and they come to tier 3, and then they start doing worse, because then all of a sudden everybody is better.
Do you get like some sort of badge or something?
I need like a pamphlet that tells me what tier teams are nowadays. Like, there needs to be a listing.
You get a sticker. You get a gold one if you're in tier 1.
It's a guess. I mean, they're in this tough position where if they go to tournaments that are like where they came from, basically, they're too good to actually participate, and if they go to one step higher, they feel like they're in the in-between period.
When I was like 11 years old, I went to Disneyland, and I was too small for some of the rides, and I was too tall for the other rides. So I could literally
Exactly.
not go on any of the rides.
Yes.
So there you go.
That's how Aspera feels right now.
Yeah.
You might still not be tall enough to go on some rides.
I am.
Okay.
I went last year. Just to be like, screw you
Okay.
guys and going on the rides.
Good to know.
But if they're facing Tinker, what do you think is their most important thing to do here against Team Tinker?
Oh god, Tinker's hard to play against.
Ban out Koikva's heroes.
Yeah, that's what most teams are doing.
That's what I'm thinking.
He farms like you said earlier, like
He's the highest farmed hero in this whole qualifier, and he farms more than Black as well.
yeah, it's huge. And if he gets a Storm Spirit or them kind of heroes like Queen of Pain, scary times. Like
I mean, you have the second phase ban those, I guess. Maybe Team Tinker just like first or second pick Queen. A lot of people have been doing that. So
what about their Night Stalker as well? Way too sexy on the Night Stalker. He has like the most first bloods in this competition. I'm pretty sure. Like out of all the teams,
Yeah.
he has the most like involvement in first blood.
it depends though, because I mean, if you see the first two picks and it's like a core and a mid or something like that, you could just ban an S in the second phase because Koikva already has his hero. I still think you want to ban Troll or Wisp, maybe Sniper and Wisp, something like that. I think it's too hard to like tailor bans around the team in the first two. You kind of have to use the second or third and fourth bans to do that. At least I feel. But
Fair enough. Shutting down the course, it's all sounding pretty simple. That's actually going to be more interesting again tomorrow with the patch. I say tomorrow, but it could be today. I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. It's so frustrating. Our second matchup, Hellraiser's taken on Chapa. I guess, I mean, there's a lot more to say about, well, a lot more. We can at least, like, they're also going to try to shut down Afro Ninja. It's almost the same scenario in this case.
it is to a degree, but I think that Hellraisers as a whole maybe play like a more solid game than what I've seen at a Team Tinker lately. I don't know. It's kind of difficult because every team has good and bad days. So you don't know if you're going to get like the Hellraisers A game that looks really phenomenal and like they support Afro Ninja really well. He's able to shine. They win the game. Like those games are great. But even in the games that he struggles, I feel like Hellraisers usually can still win. But I feel like when Koikva has a bad game, Team Tinker can't win.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I think.
Like the first time we saw Hellraisers was against Aces Polar, and they picked this like Night Stalker Omni Knight kind of thing, and they destroyed.
Yeah,
that
it was
game.
insane.
That game was so like clean and really, really nice.
Even with Dread healing creeps, they still
Yeah,
won.
exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah, we actually have some extra stats on Hellraisers, or at least we should have, because last time I said that nothing came to our screen. So I don't know if people at home maybe seeing
Griff,
it
wake
or
up.
not. But I think
They
we
just got your hopes up. They're like, we'll tell her.
Really, we've got team plates in almost every team, but not apparently for us.
Literally.
Oh, yes, there we go.
All right, we got it.
We got it. Someone made sure it happened. So this is Hellraisers. I mean, the Shadow Fiend is obviously pretty high up because you already mentioned Afro Ninja is indeed a beast on that. Now, the hero that's missing now is Quap.
Yeah, his quad play, like he positioned himself so well for the multis. Like it was actually ridiculous.
I'm surprised they actually pick Rubik so much. I mean, you see some teams pick him, but 21% pick rate on Rubik. It's pretty interesting because most people would consider him like a not top tier support right now, more just like a counter pick maybe to all the mag that's been seeing play recently, and just like even Enigma can be quite annoying to play against, and he has I guess a decent amount of D push.
I guess if you have a decent setup stone, it's not too bad for certain like Roman combos like Chen, that kind of stuff.
It can be okay if you have a follow up stun or a mag mid, because basically unknown. Yeah, you go all the way into the tower. I think even if you're on your hill, it's like not great. Very spooky.
Very spooky. Well, I'm actually thinking I want to hear from you the predictions in terms of scores, and then it's time for you to leave. But I'm going to let you do the scores first.
I'm thinking double 2-0 for Tinker and Hellraisers. So that guarantees that I am going to be 100% wrong.
2-0 for the other
And
team.
Aspera and Chappie are both going to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Owen.
I think it's going to be 2-1, but again, favouring
Both
the
of them?
sides of
Both of them?
yeah, both of them. I think Hellraisers will drop a game, and Tinker they was also just equally inconsistent sometimes. So
This is true.
I'll be surprised if they kind of take a clean sweep with 2-0 both of the sides. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Owen as well, actually.
Well, I'm not going to let you bet anyway, because
sorry.
we're going to discuss that with our weekly guest. So it's time for our casters to leave to prepare on the casting desk, and we're going to get Slasher in as our weekly guest. And here we are indeed again. This time we have once again Slasher on the couch. Slasher, how have you spent your day today?
Hello, I have just chilled after a long day yesterday.
Yeah.
So now I'm refreshed and prepared to cast some more Dota.
Did you get the sushi today?
Yes, I got the sushi.
Again.
Three days in a row, from not liking sushi to eating sushi 3 days in a row. So
It must be some pretty good sushi.
Yeah.
I have become addicted.
It's pretty good.
I don't even know if that's possible.
Addicted
like,
to sushi?
Chemically wise? Like, are there any chemicals in sushi that will make you addicted to them?
You can just be addicted to food. Like,
well, yeah, but I mean, like, actually, like.
I like burgers, but I'm not addicted to burgers.
Yeah, but is there actual food that you can get addicted to?
Sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah,
yes,
sugar.
I know sugar has that.
Yeah.
But sushi, I don't know.
And caffeine.
And caffeine.
But I heard you talking about your draft, and I must say I actually like your draft.
Yes.
I would make some,
Slashers play.
at least one readjustment to it.
Okay.
As Dwasco also said, Rubik is not that good support
Fair
with
enough.
Alchemist. So, for example, we could do Skyrat,
Yeah.
and he's one of the best supports at level 1.
But wouldn't you want also something with a disable?
Well, we have Alchemist. He has a
Witch
disable.
Doctor.
That could
You
work
could
as well.
farm an
But the thing is that
Aghanim's for Witch Doctor.
you could. That would actually maybe
That's
work
just
as well.
you're just dreaming of being the witch doctor in this scenario.
But I think we need to use that draft against the enemy who goes really greedy as well. So, for example, if they want to get a jungler, then we can pull out that draft. And then I think we give Tiny Aghanims, and then we let him farm a bit more, and then we push about 25-30 minutes in when Tiny is like 5 or 6 slotted.
I love the way you're saying we, as if we're making a team.
We're making it team.
That's what I
Slash is
always
gonna
say.
carry us, boys.
I'm playing the Witch Doctor. Hope I'm gonna get an Aghanim.
I'm gonna feed on Clockwork, apparently. It's gonna be great.
So what are you playing? Are you the Tiny?
Yeah,
You're the
I'm the
tiny.
Tiny.
And then that's
Oh
that's-
god, we've an OD
no.
Pixel Wisp.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
we
going
lose.
Shadowblade. I love Shadowblade.
Just
on
turn
Tiny.
off help.
Yeah, then Wisp could just stay away from me the first
Help
25
disabled.
minutes, and then you can join me later.
No, but Andy likes farming, so I think him
Yeah,
and
Andy
Alchemist would be
does
fine.
enjoy his
And I'm
farm.
sure he would like to give me an Aghanims as well.
You know,
Maybe
Andy
I
would
can
probably
come-
have like 6 items in his inventory before he even like looked at you.
It would actually be really valid or legit if there was still the frog you talked about, where the Alchemist.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Back in Dota 1, basically they had this map where you could kill frogs to unlock like a hidden map in Dota 1. And basically, if you picked Alchemist, you just lay on Grivel's Greed and you just attack the frog, and it'd keep respawning. And but you just get like radiance at like 14 or 4 minutes or 5 minutes.
That's
or
like
something
5 Aghanim scepters in like
Yeah.
10 minutes.
The
For the whole
dream.
team, the dream.
And you just hide in like the radiant jungle because they were like little tiny frogs. You needed a sentry ward to see basically.
You can also have your team guard one bounty rune, make sure you get the other bounty rune, random alchemist, get both bounty
Random
runes.
alchemist in captain's mode.
That's like 1 minute Midas or something like that.
That is a 1 minute Midas.
Damn.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. And if you imagine you got the creep spawn with the tiny creeps as well, and you get your support to get them all kind of low. Oh my god, the dream. You actually probably could get like a 2 minute Midas. Or something.
TI5, here we go.
We've done it.
Easy.
What's the name of our team?
Well, hey, if Alliance can switch rosters
Shane's way.
close before qualifiers,
Shane's
we
way.
can still create a team that's close towards qualifiers.
Do you think they'll invite us?
Sure.
Please?
We can hope.
Maybe.
Dream big. That's what, we need to do. Dream big.
Right, so the games today. Do you have any favorites for the teams?
Well, Team Tinker and Hellraiser. I think they're both gonna take it 2-0.
Okay. And like, who will be your standout player for, say, Team Tinker?
Ooh, yeah, Black or Koika.
Yeah, because we interviewed Pilot Die, yeah, and he was like, Black carries us.
Yeah.
That's basically quoting him, like, so.
Yeah.
He has been forged in the Chinese fire.
Yeah.
And,
He's a
now he will
hardened
show- He will
steel.
show the West now.
Ready to dominate. And of course, Quickfire still gets more farm than him, though.
Yeah,
Higher
but
last hits, higher GPM.
yeah, it's pretty weird, actually. It is really strange, because he does play kind of farming cores a lot as well, Black.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen him in Sniper.
I mean, he is like, he is the farming core. Like,
Yeah.
he is known, like, for farming and for maybe even criticized for farming too long, or at least in the past he was, for farming too
Yeah.
long without,
Remember his
throwing
anti-mage?
team.
His anti-mage was like super famous.
Yeah?
I loved watching him play anti-mage because it was just like the most relaxing thing in the world. You just go player perspective and he just blinks around and farms. And
That used to be a problem for me as well when I played competitive in Dota 1. The fact that when you play public, then you must rely so much on yourself, and you can't
yeah.
really rely on your team. And then you have to like kind of switch around when you play with the team, and you have to find more of kind of middle way between helping your team and then also, prioritizing your own farm.
It's
Yeah.
a difficult balance to have.
it actually it's probably quite difficult, like, because especially playing with a really, really amazing team like VG, and then like top of the world probably, And
I
then
think are you?
I'm not going to flame. and then going to a new roster, and then like maybe he's played with some of them in the past, but he wouldn't have as much faith in them. So it's it must be a little bit difficult to kind of get used to it.
It is. I mean, confidence has to grow to know that your supports are there to back you up. I mean, that is definitely important. Now, today, your first game is Aspera taking on Team Tinker. And last week, we talked about Team Tinker and their initiation. Of course, Bulba Clockwork was mostly brought up there. And a lot of Clockworks actually were brought up because Vision and Initiation were basically the talks of last week's qualifiers. And I'm wondering if Aspera is also going to try to like how do you deal with that? You know that's going to be really important for Team Tinker, right? How are you going to try to counter that with still lowering the form of Quakefire?
Honestly, Team Tinker love their their Night Stalker. Like they love them so much. They played a offensive like Tri Lane where
Star Ladder.
Yeah, no, and also in Air Tournament as well with Night Stalker and Lina.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, true. Yeah. Although their first gank failed.
Yeah, it did. But during the end of the game, like the other team, they just have no vision at all. And it's like, and then they had Quakefire playing the Zeus as well. So it's just like, how do you even play against that? I think banning Night Stalker might be key against this team.
Yeah, I think usually for the underdog, it's probably best not to ban the standard heroes. So just kind of leave Troll and Sniper in the pool, and then maybe they can work around that, and then they can ban Night Stalker, ban those heroes that Team Tinker loves.
Leave Sniper and Troll in the pool, huh?
Slash his way.
Then Team Tinker might have to ban them. It's I think we're gonna see more Sniper and Troll. I don't think we saw Sniper at all yesterday.
No.
No, not well. We saw him banned.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
maybe the Undying might be the key here, because like if you have a lane with say Troll and a support, and I don't know, maybe Undying can take control of the game, because we saw it yesterday. It was like
but that was PA and Troll. The problem with Troll is that he's just also so much stronger in lane. Like, it's I guess Undying might work, but against PA it's just so much.
It's so much stronger.
Yeah, more effective. Against Troll, like that's the problem. He has no real weaknesses at the moment. Now in the new patch, he's getting nerfed a bit, and he has minus 15 starting or damage when he goes into melee form.
Yeah.
So that's a much needed nerf. But right now he's so strong that you try to like, okay, I'm gonna go mid and solo him, or I'm gonna try to counter him, and it's just.
Well,
like,
what do you think is the best counter for him? Like, some people are saying Razor.
Against
like
Troll, also Lina and Quap have been picked up a lot lately.
Lina and Quap actually have been the key ones we've seen in this tournament.
Yeah, and Bloodseeker Rupture is actually also pretty good against him. You just rupture him and then try to pick off the rest of the team.
I'd say Black has like nightmares about what happened last week. Basically, he'd pick Troll and Sexy Bambo would rupture him, and he'd just be standing there like.
Well, his whole team
what do I do?
died to Dagons as well.
And he'd like run a little bit, and then he'd like be
It gives me all nightmares from yesterday's games as well, though.
Yeah.
19-minute game. Oh yeah.
How many kills did Sexy Bambo had? He had like 36 kills. What the hell is that like? And they lost the game.
But there were 151 kills in the entire game.
After such a game where I get so many kills and I still lose, like that's the worst thing ever. Like if you feel like you have played very well and you have gotten a lot of kills and you haven't died a lot, and then you still lose the game, like that can crush me as a player. At least like I know I should stop playing there, or else I will just start playing a lot worse. And I might even go into the next game just saying, well, I did really great last game, so now I can just relax, and now you guys have to carry me. And it's like it's the worst attitude.
Well, maybe that's what happened to 4Clovers yesterday.
It seemed like it, to be honest.
Hopefully for Team Tinker, they'll have a bit more luck there, because I mean, that was yesterday. Team
Tinker played really well at Starla, though.
Yes.
They did.
Now, we had them also last week, and they were playing against 4Clovers and the Leprechaun, and they lost.
4Clovers played a lot better than they did this week.
Yes, they did. But also, Team Tinker played a lot worse than what they did at Star Ladder. So there's that.
So basically, maybe Team Tinker like stole some of 4Clovers' power. Like maybe they stole their Leprechaun or their... Or their lucky things.
You know all about that.
Yeah, I understand how this works. I'm a professional.
Well, you brought it up.
And they stole their power, and now they are stronger because of it.
But don't you normally only steal someone's power after you beat them?
Maybe they beat them at like ping pong or something, or pool. It doesn't have to be a Dota. I don't know. I'm clutching at straws here.
Yeah. Well, it could also be just the LAN environment, the setting.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Felt better.
Like a bit of change of scenery, and you also have a travel day where you like have a total break from Dota, and
that
you can,
helps as well.
You can just have a chat about the games, you know, that kind of stuff.
Well, they did have a travel day last Monday as well, So who knows? Maybe they're all well rested and ready for this matchup. And I'm actually curious to hear from you what your prediction is. Do we think 2-0? Do we think 2-1?
Team Tinker will take this 2-0.
Okay.
Well, Shane, you had
Controversial.
100% yesterday, I think, in both games, right?
Yeah,
But you didn't believe your predictions.
but I said them.
Yeah.
You said them.
Like if I
It's
give-
important.
If I go in and bet on like Dota 2 Lounge or whatever, if I don't believe what I bet and I still bet, I still win.
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh.
What do you think?
I think Team Tinker. I think Team Tinker have to win, to be honest. Like, either be 2-1 or 2-0, but they will win, I think. Because we saw last week, even in the first game, they were so dominant and it was really clean and they knew exactly what they were doing. But then, I don't know what happened in the second game. And then when I watched them at StarLadder, they just seemed very convincing in their play. So.
Fair enough. I'm going to go for 2-1.
Okay.
Also for Team Tinker. Not because, like, it's mostly...
You're not gonna do what I did yesterday and beat
I
them.
haven't seen Aspera play in a very long time.
me
I
either.
used to actually, like, I have actually casted them in the past, and they have been around for quite a long time. And for example, Hakon has played in a lot of CAS team. That's the only one that I actually still 100% recognize from the team. He streams a lot of Dota as well. But yeah, I'm not that convinced they are in that great of a shape yet. What I'm going to do now actually is going to first, give you a box.
Oh, box.
Box. So it's a new box today. We have 4 boxes, now 3 boxes next to me. And these are all boxes you can win. Now, yesterday we showed you the headset. Today we're going to show you the keyboard. There's also a mouse and mouse pad. And you can win this keyboard if you go to facebook.com/ROG Nordic. And you can type in your favorite hero or your most MVP hero of this week's qualifier, I should say. That's more accurate. And then on Friday, Shane's just going to open up the thing. This is, by the way, the same one that you can win. So if your keyboard's broken when you receive it, blame Shane.
Don't blame me.
It's stuck here by the... Like,
Oh,
you probably should...
okay.
Like, no, yeah. Cool.
Oh, it's mechanical.
And you can win it if you go to
It's the Strix Tactical
facebook.com/ROG.
Pro mechanical
Nordic.
gaming keyboard. Okay, so this is the Strix Tactical Pro mechanical gaming keyboard. Would you?
You have to...
What?
Oh, no, it's fine.
I'm still not sure I understand the difference between mechanical keyboard
No
and then
way.
analog keyboard, or what's the other thing?
Do you have just a normal keyboard?
I don't know. I have a race.
Or just type your name, type slasher, and just feel how the keys. Go on.
Do it.
Because they kind of pop back up at you, and it feels nicer.
Yeah.
Like, you're not convinced.
Well,
Honestly,
I have to
once
get
you
used to a keyboard. I have to play Dota with the keyboard, and then...
once you get a mechanical keyboard, I don't think you can go back. It's ridiculous.
It is a pretty good to have a mechanical keyboard. I'm gonna let these two play with the keyboard a little bit more. We're gonna go over to our casters because it is time for the first game of today. It is Team Tinker versus Aspera with Draskell and OD.